What if I told you that you could review any of your Revizto tracked issues in VR on a Meta Quest completely wirelessly? You could jump into the model with your colleagues and your stakeholders and collaborate in real time as if you're standing inside of the model at a one-to-one scale, looking at one of your issues, you discuss it, and you get to a resolution a lot faster. Well, now you can. I'm really excited to announce that Resolve has launched a Revizto integration. From data centers to water treatment to pharma, we're helping some of the world's largest projects get delivered faster and more predictably. Every day, we hear from our customers about how Resolve is helping them to save millions of dollars in rework or prevent weeks of delays by finding issues a lot earlier. With VR, you don't have to wait until you're out on the job site to discover that a piece of equipment can't be accessed for critical operations and maintenance. We're supercharging BIM review workflows with our real-time spatial collaboration across VR and the web. So, integrations are a big part of that because we want to save you clicks and we want everyone to have access to the information that's important to make fast decisions. Naturally, a Revizto integration made a lot of sense, and it was by far the most requested integration in the last few months. Let's see how it works. I'm logged into my Revizto account, and these are the projects that I currently have hosted. So I'm going to click this sample project here, and if I go to the issue tracker, you can see I have a couple of issues here. So I'm going to walk you through how we're able to review all of these issues in Resolve's collaborative environment on the web and in VR. And then I'm going to show you how I can take any of the annotations that I make in Resolve while in VR and bring them back into this Revizto project so that I can track them and use all of my Revizto issue tracking tools to make sure that they actually get closed out. The first thing that we need to do is set up the Revizto integration. So you're going to head over to the Integrations tab on the Resolve web dashboard, and you're going to find Revizto. Mine is already linked, so I see two options, but yours will say Link Revizto if this is your first time setting it up. So you click the button, and you're brought to the authorization page. To add a integration to your Revizto instance, you need to do a few things. First, you'll click this link. That will redirect you to your Revizto workspace where you will log in and then be shown a very long code which you're going to copy to your clipboard. And then you'll come back to the authorization page on Resolve and you will paste that long access code that you got from Revizto right here. And then you click Link Revizto. A couple of important notes here. You do need to have access to integrations and the API on Revizto, so you're going to want to make sure that your plan supports that. You also need to make sure that you have access to issues for the project that you're trying to link to Resolve. Otherwise, we won't be able to push or pull any of your Revizto issues. Now that I've linked Revizto and Resolve, it's time to configure the integration. Here I have a sample Navisworks file that corresponds to one of my Revizto projects. This is a Navisworks export of what I have in Revizto. If I click the annotations button, I'm brought to the annotation dashboard, and then I'll click settings, and I will see issue integrations. This will be off for you the first time. If you turn it on, then you will see these new fields. The Revizto license is which Revizto license you want to associate this project with. Every Resolve project can be associated with a different Revizto project in a different Revizto license. In this case, it's under my Resolve VR license, and the project that I want to link it to is Revizto Resolve Sample. You will probably have lots of projects, so you'll want to find which is the one that corresponds to the model that you've hosted on Resolve. Now I want to select the default issue type, which means when I make an annotation in Resolve and then escalate it to Revizto, what's the default type? I'm just going to pick standard here. Now is the default stamp. if you have a stamp workflow set up, then you can make it so that any resolve annotations that get synced back to Revizto as an issue actually get pushed as a stamp issue template. So we have a couple of stamp templates in our Revizto instance. In this case, I've mapped a resolve issue stamp to my resolve annotation. This way I know which of my issues in Revizto correspond to annotations that were found in resolve. But you can make this whatever you want, and it will get pushed back with the stamp code, and you'll see everything in Revizto. I'll show you shortly. That's it. That's the setup. Now we just need to check out some issues. The Revizto integration is only available to select license types. So if you don't see the option to link your Revizto account, or you don't see how to configure it in the annotations dashboard, you'll have to reach out to our team and we can discuss the options to enable it for your project. Now that we've set everything up, let's start by reviewing some Revizto tracked issues on Resolve's web-based Lightning Viewer. So I'm going to open up my project here. And now I have my model open in the browser, and I am looking at one of the annotations that I've made in Resolve. And if I click the annotations button over on the right-hand toolbar, I can see all of my Resolve made annotations. On the top, I see tabs for the different integrations that we support. And if I click Revizto, since my account is linked, it pulls all of the Revizto tracked issues that are associated with this project into Resolve. So if I click on this, it takes me to Revizto issue number 2 with the stamp BAD and the description safety issue. And this is one that I made over on Revizto to signify this tripping hazard here. This is a missing camera and a clash. So now we are reviewing our issues that we have been making and tracking in Revizto, but in Resolve's web viewer. And I have the model open, and I could send the link to someone else on my team, and we can be reviewing this together, or someone can be in VR while I'm reviewing from the web viewer, and we're in here together. All right, now let's jump into VR and look at these issues on the MetaQuest. Now I'm in the same model that I was just looking at in the web viewer, but I'm looking at it in VR on the MetaQuest. If I go over to the content menu and annotations, I'll see all my Resolve annotations here, but at the top, I will also see the Revizto tab. And if I click it, it shows me all of my Revizto issues on my VR menu. So let's click this first one. That's an issue that I created in Revizto to flag the tripping hazard. And now I'm standing right in front of it, and I can see why it's such an obvious issue. And if I look to my left, the Resolve app portal opens up to that issue on Revizto's web view. And so I can explore here, and if I'm logged in, I can change things or edit things, but I want to look at it up close. So I'm going to teleport down, walk around a bit. Yeah, that looks pretty bad. And so now I could be in here with my team. We could be discussing it together, and if the consultants are also on the call, then we can talk about the possible ways to fix this. Oh, there's that clash that we were also looking at. And again, these are all coming straight from the Revizto project. I just had to set up the integration with Resolve, and now I'm on a MetaQuest completely wirelessly looking at it. I could be anywhere. I could be in a job trailer. I could be in a conference room. I open the model and I go review the issues that I need to look at. I ping someone on my team, we jump in together, and done deal. Now let's say I'm in virtual reality doing a review, and I find something that is a potential safety hazard. How do I get that back into my Revizto workflow? Well, if we walk up here towards this staircase, it's leading right into a door, and there's another door here. Something is very likely to go wrong here. So I'm going to go to create, speech to text. Let's review possible design options here to improve safety. So I say that out loud. I get my text, I hit add. This one's going to be a safety issue. and I'm going to drop that right there. So I've just made an annotation in Resolve. I use speech to text to flag that. Now let me show you how to get this annotation from Resolve to Revizto. I've made an annotation in Resolve while I was in VR using speech to text, and now we're going to get it back into Revizto. So if I click on the annotations on the Resolve web dashboard, there's my annotation that I just made. Let's review possible design options here to improve safety. It's tracked in Resolve, and we have many ways to export it as PDF, CSVs, but in this case, I want to feed it into my Revizto workflow. So all I have to do is click Create Revizto Issue, and ta-da, Revizto issue number 51 has been created. And if I click the link, it's going to take me now to Revizto so that I can see the issue that I just made. And now I have access to all of Revizto's incredible issue tracking tools. You'll notice that a screenshot was also synced along with the issue. This was taken while I was in VR. When I made the annotation, it automatically captures a screenshot, and you can see it also circles the spot where I left the annotation. That way I have that context in Revizto if anyone asks, what was going on or the model has changed. From here, you can use all of the fields available to you in Revizto. And if you recall, when we configured the integration, our default stamp type was the RES Resolve stamp type for Revizto, and you can see that it synced it that way, and the title was updated to include what I said when I was in VR. And if I open the Revizto application and I go to Issue Tracker, I can click on the issue as well, and if I'm in the 3D view, it takes me to where I was standing in VR. The stamp marker is where I made my annotation, but now I'm in the context of Revizto, so I can use all of my favorite tools and workflows here. Now you've seen the full end-to-end workflow, how to get your Revizto tracked issues into Resolve, and how to get annotations from Resolve out to Revizto as issues. That two-way sync, we tried to make it as simple as possible, so we're really excited for the workflows that this unlocks. Thanks so much for watching, and let us know if you have any feedback.